It is time to rank every match from another pay-per-view, and this time it is a classic one. Well, I mean, most of the ones we do is classic. I mean, it's rare we'll actually do a recent one, but it is WCW/NW Uncensored 1998. But for purposes, we'll just call it WCW Uncensored because the NWO, brother. But this was a 9-match card. Third, is it the third pay-per-view of the year? I believe it is. Or is it the second? Or I guess, is it the third or the second? I have no idea, guys, but we're jumping into the 9th match, and that was Curt Hennig taking on Bret Hart. This match went approximately 13 minutes and 51 seconds. Bret Hart defeats Curt Hennig by submission, but I'll tell you one thing, guys, right? This was probably the longest 14 minutes of your fucking life. Bret Hart is a boring bastard. Curt Hennig is a boring bastard. This match was a boring bastard. I mean, like, honestly, it was just headlock. Like, I don't get it how, like, people think Bret Hart is better than Shawn Michaels. You know, like, honestly. Like, I have, like, see, watching a Shawn Michaels match, I've never been bored. But see, more or less every Bret Hart match, there's obviously, yes, there's a few exceptions. Like, even the one with Shawn Michaels and Bret, the Iron Man match, I was never bored during it. But it kind of just, like, was dragging when I get it's an Iron Man match, you know? I get that's, like, the purpose here. But yeah, Bret sucks, man. The ending was this match was also fucking right rude. But next up we have Juventud Guerrera taking on Conan. It's coming in 8th place. You know, Juventud wins, which definitely was the right decision in a 10-minute match. But Conan is just that sloppy, guys. I can't rate the match any higher than that. Next up we have the Giant and Kevin Nash here in a match. Again, like, it just ends in disqualification. The Giant wins. The 6-minute match. I mean, the build-up for this match was actually brilliant in my opinion. But here we are talking about how it's not brilliant, you know, because absolute pish. Like, it's just, like, the build-up just, I mean, how can a build-up be so good but the match actually be so pish? I guess that happens sometimes, but why can't we have a clear finish here, you know? Like, and then they just do the copy and paste stuff. Oh, the NWO come out and get the DQ'd, or, you know, and then WCW come out and help the Giant, or, you know, something. I mean, every Nitro, every Thunder ends in the same patter of pish. Coming in at number 6, guys, we have Scott Steiner taking on Lex Luger. Steiner's obviously been red hot since his heel turn. Oh, but we'll have Lex Luger defeat him in less than 4 minutes. Awful. I mean, but the match itself wasn't as bad as the other 3 behind it. I mean, that's the only. But the booking decision here. I mean, Lex Luger in '98. I mean, I'd never cared for Lex Luger, guys. But why is he beating Scott Steiner? The guy should be pushing to the moon. It's like one of the few new stars. Like, I get it, it does happen offensively, but it's an awful booking decision. So the match comes in 6th. In at 5th, we've got the main event. Another match I didn't like. I mean, there's a trend with this pay-per-view, man, about me not liking it. With Macho Man and Hogan in a no contest cage match, I mean, there was blood. The stuff at the end was awful, with Savage hitting Sting, and then he's like turning on Sting, but he's also turning against everyone else. It's kind of just stupid, in my opinion, but that's the way shit happens sometimes, guys. So you got to move on in life with that department. But again, I mean, it's a 15-minute match, but it was just like a boring slugfest, like very slow. Like, the Piper and Hogan steel cage match was a lot better, because that was more like a Hell in a Cell rather than this match. It was just, I mean, you could barely even see in, you know. And I just feel like towards the end, and then the fact it doesn't have a conclusive finish, kind of like the Giant and the Kevin Nash match, again, not good, you know. And Hogan just, it's like the fact that the world title match wasn't even the main event here, which is another thing that's stupid. But coming in number 4 was the opening match, which was between Booker T and Eddie Guerrero. Great opener. You can, I mean, this is where the matches definitely pick up. You get Chavo Guerrero in Eddie's corner, but Booker T and Eddie Guerrero, I mean, these two are never really going to put on a bad match here for the the WCW Television Championship. I'm just so used to Taz holding that belt. Booker T beats him in 11 minutes. It's a great way to kick off the show. Two guys who the best work's definitely still ahead of them in terms of moving their way up the card, but great way to kick up the show, and the right guy wins, because Booker T, albeit yes, the last pay-per-view you lost it just to win it back just before the pay-per-view, which I didn't agree with, but here he got the job done, didn't he? Now into the podium places, we've got Chris Jericho defeating Dean Malenko in just under 15 minutes for the Cruiserweight Championship via submission. And what I actually liked about this is the fact Jericho beats him clean. There's no ifs or buts about it. And it's like cementing Jericho as the star that he should be, although the Cruiserweights are severely shafted here on WCW. But yeah, and it was great after the match. You've got Mean Gene slabbering to Dean Malenko about his win-loss record at the pay-per-view, so I enjoyed that. And it seemed like a very damning moment in the career of Malenko, and just a very big moment in terms of WCW in general. But coming in at number 2, we've got Scott Hall's match for the WCW World Championship. The guy should have been world champ, guys. The fact he wasn't, I think, is a bit of a disgrace when you look at some of the champions you get now holding world titles. But yes, him against Sting. We've got Dusty Rhodes at ringside. Match only goes about 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes, but it's a great fast-paced match. You know, you've got the whole knuckle spot. He hits Sting. You think he's going to beat Sting. There's drama. Sting kicks it about 2 3/4, man. The crowd's going ballistic. He does beat him in the end, which kind of does make Scott Hall look a wee bit weak. But the fact that Scott Hall had him beat, you know, it doesn't make him look too bad. And in my opinion, should have been the main event of this show, but I guess kind of because it was that short, did they really want this the main event? You know, definitely could have been longer, but yes, guys, Scott Hall should have been world champion. But into the number 1 spot, we have got DDP retaining his WCW United States Heavyweight Championship in a match that went about 16 minutes, and no disqualification match because it's triple threat rules. And one of the first triple threat matches you will get, guys. Was it the first one? You know, but this feud's been, it's probably, well, I said the Giant and Ashes had the best build up. This one's probably up there, if not above it. But yeah, some crazy spots. A diamond cutter through a table. You've got all this stop sign stuff, hardcore spots, brawls to the back, just great action. You know, and it was just great seeing and refreshing, guys, to see an actual triple threat match instead of the pish we've became accustomed to. But anyway, DDP wins with the insane DDP diamond cutter off the top rope through the table. I mean, it was a bit of a botch. The tail didn't break, but you know what? I'm not going to take that off the match, guys. But anyway, that is me ranked every match on 9 matches from this pay-per-view. And until next time, peace.